I'm not talking threats. See, I was stalked by the thoughts in my head. You're a goon, you're a villain. All I wanna do is kill 'em, room spinning. The walls of ears, there's pupils in the ceiling. But you don't have a clue how I'm feeling. See these shoes, can you feel 'em? They say the wounds are healing. But all the truth is revealing is a seeping, oozing, blood spilling, a foolish love for sin, moolah money and a lust for women. See, I could write a dozen writtens, exposing an open door to my mind. It's like an open sore and a knife, and I'm sorbering my open throat with pride, and I'm blinded like a deer that's caught in the lights, and I'm driving. They say that scars are the stories of life, man, they lying. I'd push and pull and I'd spar and I'd war and I'd fight till sweat is pouring out my pores and I'd sigh. Then I'd remember 9 inches of forged iron was forced writing, crown of thorns in his eyelids. The crowd mocked and laughed, even I was there screaming and spitting. But still he looked to the Father and pleaded, please forgive them, it is finished.
Wow. That is Aaron Ainsworth, and he regularly does spoken word items like that at our soup kitchen in our church at New Hope, Brisbane. And when he gets up and shares, all the people at the soup kitchen, they listen, they go, wow, he's got such a great testimony. So Aaron, let's hear a bit of your story today. You had a very tough upbringing and ended up, as a drug addict and everything as a young fella. Tell us a bit about your story and how you came to Christ.
You know, the truth of it is that the only thing tough about my upbringing is the way that I made it. I was the one that caused it to be that way. It actually didn't need to be that kind of journey, but I created that lifestyle that made it something that was tough. And you know, like even from a really young, early age, I just wanted to be out and about, outside, just out in the environment and doing things. And part of that meant that, you know, at 6 or 7 years old, I was down at the creek. I was, you know, running and jumping off the cliffs, doing flips. There was actually a chain swing. There was a chain that was connected to a branch in a big old tree, and it had some handlebars on it. And we would get to the top of the cliff and swing off the handlebars and flip into the creek, and we just used to hang out. And the thing about that is that when I was hanging out down there, there was a lot of older people. There was a lot of other people from the area that were out and about as well. And so very quickly, I got to see things and was introduced to a lifestyle that I probably should not have seen at that age. So very quickly, I saw lots of people that were drunk, that were sniffing butane, that were, smoking yandi. And it meant that even at 7 years old, I took my first puff of weed. And that was a very, very, momentous occasion in my life, which just led to worse and worse things. Yeah.
So you had many years of addictions, and you had all sorts of trouble happen in your life. Tell us, how did you come to Christ?
Yeah, so that continued. That one little puff of weed at 7 very quickly turned into everyday smoking weed by 12 and 13. Started selling it. I became the person that everyone else came to. Very quickly again, injecting ice at 13, stealing cars, breaking into shops, and just a really rugged lifestyle that came along. But, you know, once again, that was what I chose. I didn't need that, but I chose to live that life. Fast forward at 17, I had my first child. And you would think that's enough to change someone's life, and it really did a little bit. I tried to live a certain way for my children, but all the while I still had a raging drug addiction, a lot of crime in my life. And it wasn't until I was 23 with 3 children. I was now 23 with 3 children, using as much ice as I'd ever used in my life. It was very pure, very cheap at the time, and I was lost. I was gone, and there was no way that I could escape that lifestyle. In fact, I tried so many times. I just want to tell you this line that I heard not long ago that really summed it up for me. and it goes like this. It says, I can't see clear, but it's not tears in my eyes. It's sweat pouring down from the years that I tried. And that was such a pivotal moment for me, because I realised at that time I'd tried so hard to do so many things by my own strength, and it just got me nowhere at all.
And then there was a conversion experience where everything changed. Tell us what happened.
There definitely was. So, and you know, it's really important to tell this part of the story as well, is that there was one day where I'd just purchased a couple of $100 worth of ice, and I'd shot it all up, you know, injected it from a needle, 4 points of ice. I was fried out of my nut. You know, I was so high. And I remembered this CD that someone had given me. And I placed this CD on and I started to listen to it. And it was a rap CD, and I loved rap. So I started to listen to this rap CD, and it was like nothing that I've ever heard before. You see, this guy told about his lifestyle, and he told about a life changed. He told about a hope. And in his raps, he was talking about Jesus. He was talking about the character of God. He was talking about how people lived a certain way, and it wasn't acceptable before God, except Jesus had made a way for them to change their lifestyle. And when I heard that, fried out of my mind on drugs, I heard the reality of God's love. And I knew that I was in trouble. I knew that my lifestyle was heading nowhere good. And I heard for the first time in my life the good news of Jesus, the gospel. And when I heard the gospel of Jesus, I accepted that free gift. I accepted that love that he offered, and my life completely changed from that point on.
Wow, it's incredible what God's done in your life. You then worked as a youth worker for many years. You've done a lot of work among the homeless. Yeah. And you know, you're helping out every Friday with the King's Table Soup Kitchen, and you pick up people from homeless shelters. Yeah. What's it look like in these shelters when you go in and you invite people to come for lunch, and I know you pray with people, and you know, a lot of people are coming to Christ through it. What's it look like when you do that every week?
You know, first and foremost, it is a great privilege to be able to be a minister of the gospel, to go out and serve others. And the only reason I do it is in response to God's love. I do it in response to the love of God that he's shown me. Mm-hmm. So when I go into these places, it's knowing that I'm there for pretty much two reasons: because I love people and I love God, and I want to see their lives transformed. So when we walk into these places, honestly, you don't know ever what to expect. You could rock up one day and there's someone screaming at the top of their lungs in psychosis on ice outside. You might rock up another day and there's police everywhere, there's paddy wagons, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There might be abuse and people yelling at each other. There might even be people in there that have just dealt with being bashed up because they owed money for drugs. But the thing that gets me the most is when you walk into these places, they live in a single room. They live in this single room with a mattress, and that's it. That's all they got. Most of these people rock up and they've had all their clothes and all their belongings missing, gone, taken, stolen, lost. And they are in this room, and most of them haven't even left that room. They're isolated. So when we come in there and we knock on their doors and we just say, hey, we would love for you to come and join us in community and have a lunch.
It's so good. And you know, since COVID, we've seen over 1,000 people become Christians in the outreach to the shelters, because all the research shows people are asking questions. Is there a God? Is the Bible true? Is Jesus real? And we're just going and we're answering those questions. We're just praying for people, and it's been an amazing harvest. Well, Aaron, thank you for sharing your story with us, and we believe that you know, many people's lives listening across the nation right now have been impacted by your story. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear Aaron do some more spoken word tonight, he's going to be on at 5:30 at Cherbourg at the church at Maxi Conlon's church. You can come on down, there'll be a good feed, some good music. I'll tell some dad jokes, and Aaron's going to be doing some spoken word as well. I might even do my rap as well. I'll see how we go.
Okay, Pastor, thanks very much, and thank you to the team for today. It's been a blessing to everyone.
Thank you, mate.
God bless you. Yes, awesome.
Hey, thanks, mate. That's good.
Thank you, sir.
So good.
Yeah.